Hello friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works workshop. It's Tuesday the 29th, I believe is the right date, of December here in 2015, and we are flooded in. I hope you're safe wherever you are. I know there are thousands and thousands of people that are really hurting in this flood, and my heart goes out to them. My thoughts and prayers are with them. We are fortunate that our property doesn't actually flood, other than the main creek that comes down through the middle of the property, and it does minor problems or damage. It's not a big deal. We just have to clean up some stuff after each time it really floods, but not a big deal. But nothing that of value is at risk, so we're in really good shape compared to a lot of people. But I thought I'd just show you a number of clips here about the flood and how bad it is. Our road is a one-way road. I mean, there's just one way in and one way out, and when that road floods, we're here to stay. We can, if we really have to, if we had an emergency, we can get out through the national forest on four-wheelers or something like that. We can get out, but it's a hassle. So, you know, but under an emergency situation, you do what you got to do. But right now, we're stuck for probably several days. I can't, my customers can't come in. I can't send anything out. I've got orders waiting to go out, go in the mail, and different things like that. So, we're just stuck. We just have to, but I've used the time wisely. I've been working on my other workshop, and I'll put up a video of that in the near future of the progress that we've made on the new workshop. And it's coming along really well. We're doing pretty good. So in one way, it's kind of been a blessing in disguise. It's given me time to do work on that rather than work on instruments. So hope you enjoy this video of all the different unique aspects of the flood here at the farm. And give me a thumbs up or a like. I would appreciate that. That helps get these videos out in front of other people, which helps you and me. So thank you very much for watching. This is our backyard. Thought I'd show you. This is our giant wood furnace. It's a big one. Here's the creek that literally runs under our house. You can see this valley behind the house is what contributes to this creek. You can see the drain tile right here is just flooded, and this large wall that goes all the way around the house, that collapsed once under some really crazy heavy rain, so I put this bigger tile in. Hopefully it'll stay in place this time. This house was built so large that it goes all the way across the valley. So therefore this creek literally runs straight through under the house. I put all this pipe in through here. It used to be an open ditch all the way to the house. It literally was an open ditch to where you see those double doors. And I put in pipe all the way to carry the water through here, make a better backyard. I'm going to take you around to the front and show you what it looks like coming out from under the house. You couldn't drive through here. This hill used to come all the way to the house. I cut all this out and put in this big wall and this rock wall. Here's where it exits the house right here. And I'll get over here on this little bridge and show you what it looks like coming out from under the house. It's unique, to say the least. So there's where it comes out from under the house. Once again, the house used to go all the way into that hill. I dug all the way around the house and made it where we could drive all the way around the house and through the house over here. The house is 144 feet long. It's crazy that they would build it like a dam, basically, all the way across the valley. So that's why the water has to run under the house. Just plain nuts. Here's the main creek coming down the valley on the farm here. And as you can see, it's really roaring. But if you look along, you can see a dark line on that green grass over there, and that dark line is how high it was.
which is just about the height of this little bridge we're standing on. You can see that that limb washed up on top of the bridge, so obviously the water was over the bridge and it went out through here. It's got part of our little corral flooded, and the story is that this bridge here, as big as it is for a little private creek, the people that built it back in, they owned the place from the 30s to the 60s, and they said that the water never once got over this bridge. Well, since we've owned it since the late 90s, it's got over this bridge. I think this is the 4th time now. So the weather patterns have definitely changed. It would be the road that we would continue on and go out, but as you can see, the road is completely flooded. That is probably 8 to 10 feet deep out there right now on the road. And here's the railroad tracks. These tracks only go to Fort Leonard Wood. Actually, in this direction they go to Fort Leonard Wood. You can see this is where we're going to put the new road in, on the other side of those trees. We're going to put a new road in, which is actually going to be higher and will flood much less often. This is much lower on this side. So it's a mess. When it rains this hard, we're screwed. The only way we can get out is to drive right down these tracks, and that's what we're fixing to do right now. The Fort Leonard Wood people told us that it's okay to drive down the tracks during the flood because they won't use them anyway. And even when they do use them, they're very, very slow speed because they just push trains down here to the end of the track, which is only about a half a mile that way, and they connect up to the other line. So they only, this is not a through line is what I'm saying. It's just a one-way line out to the fort, and they use it at very low speed whenever they do use it. So it's not like a big risk anyway. But anyway, here we go. So we're going to head down the tracks. I'm straddling the tracks. I'm in my Polaris Ranger. And we just keep one tire on the outside of the ties, the other tire on the inside of the ties. And it is a bumpy ride, if you can tell from my voice. We have to go this way about a half a mile until we can get back on the main road. We've got a truck parked on the outside already, so that once we get out, we can go into town then. At least we have an option. I'm not complaining. I know there's thousands and thousands of people that are flooded out right now and much worse shape than we're in. Well, it's now about 3:15 in the afternoon on Monday, and earlier video that I took was around 10 o'clock in the morning, and you can see the water has come up significantly. The railroad tracks, most of it is underwater. Right there, that little white patch there at the railroad track crossing is still above water, and that's where we were this morning when I took that first video. Well, now we can't even get there, so there is no getting out now. There's no going to town or anything for a while. I mean, we can go through the woods if we really get desperate, but that's a pain. But we could do it if we had to, so it's not like all is lost or anything. But I'm just giving you an idea, and down that part of the track is still higher, so it's going up a slight grade all the way through here. That's why that part's above water. This part here is, you know, steadily going downhill, and so it gets below water when you get way over there. But between here and those telephone poles is where we plan to put the new road, and that is actually higher than on the other side of the tracks. So hopefully it won't flood as often, at least, whenever we do that. Today is Tuesday, December 29th. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and you can see that the water has continued to rise. Now the railroad tracks are completely underwater, all the way down. Now here's where the grade comes up, and it's still out above water out this way, but you can see where you can see the two railroad crossing signs there behind that telephone pole, and that's where we took the very first video the first day. We were able to get over there, but of course obviously now we can't. And it's going to be, since the water seems to be continually rising and not falling, it's going to be several days before we'll be able to get out